breath. And when someone reaches out to me, as many women do, and predominantly my clients are 45 plus, and although I do have a few young ones, I must say, and have always really enjoyed working with some younger ones, and I'll explain that more in a little bit, but predominantly it's 45 plus. And women reach out to me a lot by referral, so I have other clients referring them, and from obviously being in my social media world and on Facebook and Instagram, etc., etc. They hear about me, they read about me, and they reach out. And if I could sum up what they say to me when we have those initial conversations, it is something like this: Caroline, I know exactly what to do. I just can't get my head in the right place. I know what I should be eating. I know how I should be moving my body more. But despite that, I can't get my head in the right place. And also, why is it that I can be successful in my work, in my business, in my career, be successful with my family, my partner, as a parent, be successful with my friends, have beautiful relationships, yet I can't get this one area of my life under control and have the success that is shown to me in other areas of my life. So it's like this one thing, despite them being smart and intelligent and capable and all of those things, this one area of their life is elusive. And despite knowing what they should do, and knowing, and they actually know, like they have the knowledge. You know, they've read the books, they've read the blogs, they've searched Dr. Google. Ooh, can you hear that? That is scaffolding out in the street going crash. As I said, capable, intelligent people, women. But despite their efforts, they can't get their head in the right place. Now, I know why that is. And this thought process that drives so many of my clients, and I'm sure so many of you, is what drove me to become the mindset nutritionist, because I could tell you how to move your body. I could tell you what to eat to drop the weight. But at that time, and I'm talking over 15 years ago, I didn't have the knowledge or the expertise or the certification to be able to tell you how to get your head in the right place. So I went out, I did what I needed to do, and that's what I do. I am fully certified in mindset coaching and working with your subconscious mind to uncover what is actually keeping you in the holding pattern, keeping you on the diet roller coaster, and keeping you stuck. Mindset, in my expert opinion, having worked with so many women and lost hundreds of kilos and hundreds of pounds over the last 15 years, is the number one reason why you cannot move forward in dropping the weight that you want to drop. And until you resolve what is going on in that beautiful head of yours, that is always going to keep you stuck. Now, I know that word stuck is annoying. It's going to keep you treading water. It's going to keep you holding in the same place. You may drop 5 kilos, you may drop 10 kilos, 20 pounds, and then inevitably, over time, it creeps back. And all your hard efforts and all your desperation and all your restriction and all your frustration of holding it and doing what you know is the right thing to do, eventually you reach a goal. You stop doing what you're doing. Old habits return, old behaviors return, emotions return, cravings return, and your body will say, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going back to where I was, to that set point where you were originally, unless you continue to just battle. And it's an internal battle that you may not even know is going on, because what is driving this behavior is your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind, excuse me, is the iceberg that you can't see, which is under the water. So you see the top of the iceberg, and that is your conscious mind, and that is making 2 to 4% of your daily decisions. Your subconscious mind is making 96 to 98% of your daily decisions. I'll say that again. 96 to 98% of your daily decisions. Obvious things like who is pumping your heart right now? How are your lungs breathing? How is blood moving through your body? How is muscle repair and cell rejuvenation happening? How is your brain doing what your brain does? All of those things are run from the subconscious mind. But also, where do all those emotions go? Where do all those unresolved emotions go? Where do all those feelings go? Where do all those habits live? And those cravings, they all live in your subconscious mind, and they operate on autopilot. They operate on autopilot without you even knowing, because it is driven. That's how your body works, on autopilot. So think about it, and I've said this a few times before, like you're learning to drive a car, or you're teaching your kids how to drive a car, or your grandchildren how to drive a car. Initially, they're literally white-knuckling, holding that steering wheel, but eventually, a few years later, they are driving, they're not even thinking about where they're going, they're getting destination from A to B without thinking, because the whole driving experience, the learned experience of learning how to drive, has become so familiar, and they're so confident with their actions that it drops down into the subconscious mind and becomes a habit, and that's where it lives. And that is what happens with so many of your food habits, so many of your behavior habits, despite the fact that you might say to yourself in your executive mind, I will not eat chocolate or put my hand in the cookie jar after dinner. And suddenly you find yourself on the couch, Netflix is coming on, and you think, oh, I'll have some chocolate. And the executive mind will go, no, you won't. You, in your subconscious mind just says, without you even going, oh, yes, you will. And all of a sudden you are getting up and you're walking to the kitchen or to the pantry or to the cookie jar, and you are grabbing that chocolate. So when you think about it, if all of these behaviors, all of these emotions, all of these feelings and beliefs that you have about yourself, i.e., I always fail at this, or I'm unsuccessful in this area of my life, or I can never stick to it, or I'll always be big boned, oh, my family's always heavy, I am, are all thoughts that while you continue to believe to be your truth, and that's okay that they are at the moment, but while you continue to believe that they are your truth, then again, your subconscious mind will make sure that this truth is your reality. So the identity that you currently have, and all the thoughts you think about you, all the behaviors you have, all the cravings you have, all the feelings you have about yourself, is your current identity. And therefore, if you want change, we need to change what is involved in that identity and what is going on inside your subconscious mind. So when you join me in the Weight Loss Accelerator Program, for a minimum of either 3 months or up to, usually it's about 6 months, and that's the container where I hold you, and that's where I hold my premium clients in this one-to-one container, and I literally am with you every step of the way as we navigate through what is your weight loss journey. And the first thing we do is what I call the Mindset Launchpad, and that is where I do the deep, intensive mindset work. I refer to it jokingly as my couch work. You come and sit on my couch, literally. Now, we might be on Zoom, or if you're lucky to have me in person, then we actually sit on my couch. And that has happened before, and often. And what we do is we do a deep dive into the emotions which are in your body, which are negative, like anger, like hurt, like fear, like sadness, for example, that your body is holding on to, not necessarily without you even knowing it. Because what happens is you might feel a certain emotion, and then you let's think about hurt, for example. You might feel a certain emotion, you feel this hurt, you go, you know what, I can't deal with this right now. I'm going to push it down. I've got to get on. I've got to get to the kids. I've got to get to work. I've got to present a Zoom meeting. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And women are so good at this, like just constantly looking after everyone and everything else before they tune in to themselves. Now, when you shove that emotion back down into what I call your emotional black bag, your body holds on to it. So, an awareness for you. When you feel a negative emotion, it's actually coming from your subconscious mind, and it's your subconscious mind sending it up to your surface to here, to the executive mind, to say, come on, I don't really want to hold on this a bit longer. Could we resolve this? And that's exactly what we do. We resolve these negative emotions, the big ones, okay? And we uncover where these emotions come from, and then we literally release them. And it's so exciting to watch and to be part of and to share with my clients as they literally get to the end of the exercise and I say, can you feel this, let's just say hurt, for example. Look, close your eyes, look back, and can you feel this hurt right now? And they cannot feel any hurt. So it is gone from their bodies. Now, has it gone for life? No, it's not, because we all have these emotions going in our lives. But that unresolved emotion that they've been holding on to for potentially 10, 20, 30 years is released from their body. And then likewise with the beliefs that they have about themselves. Like, you know, I'm a procrastinator. I'm always going to be big. I've always carried this weight. I am this person. I can't lose weight. Why, as I said earlier, why you continue to think this way, that's going to be your reality. So it's highly likely that these I am statements actually don't belong to you. They are not your internal truth. They are a reality or that was given to you as a young child by a comment by someone that you love, often a parent, and that you heard at this very young age, and it might be like, you've got to eat everything on your plate. Oh, all the women in this house are big. Or whatever it is. And this very young brain just absorbs that information in because it doesn't know how to filter it, distort it, delete it, do what it needs to do, which doesn't happen until it becomes executive mind, which is after 12 years of age. And it just absorbs it in as its reality. And then it becomes your truth because it doesn't know any different. So again, excuse me, through our work together, we uncover what are some of those beliefs for you. And we go, okay, where did they come from? And we find where they came from. And again, we create a new belief for you. I am a healthy, fit person. I lose weight with ease. I succeed in everything I put my mind to. I'm healthy, strong, and fabulous. All those things. We do all of those things so that you let go of the old belief because it actually doesn't belong to you. And we replace it with a new belief which empowers you to feel confident and happy. I eat mindfully throughout my day. I choose foods that nourish me and make me healthy and promote weight loss. All of these fabulous things are yours to have when we do the work at the subconscious level. And that's what happens in the Mindset Launchpad. That's part one. And then part two is after we've done that emotional deep dive, we then have created a new mindset framework for you and a new way of thinking. And I promise you, I can guarantee you that this new way of thinking is immediate. It's not like you have to wait weeks for it to happen. The mental clarity and energy that you feel over the next 24, 48, 72 hours is very present. And then we take this new framework and I fill your toolbox with everything you need to make weight loss happen. I can change habits in 5 minutes. It's a very specific exercise. We take the old habit, we replace it with a new habit, we swap it over in your mind so that your mind only reaches out for the new habit. Amazing. We take foods which are your problem foods, for want of a better word, and we make them very distasteful in your mind. So you see that food and you go, you know what? No thanks. I don't want to touch that. No thanks. And it gives you just this power and tools that you can use just to go, you know what? And then you come in and you think about that goal. You think about you at New Year's Eve and you see yourself at the beginning of 2026, whatever it might be, and you see that person which we've set into your subconscious mind, this beautiful mind movie of the new you, and that new you comes into your mind because you now start to concentrate on it and focus on it, and you suddenly go, you know what? I don't need this. This is how it happens at this very deep level. So when we're finding the root causes of all these behaviors, and we're finding the root causes of all these emotions and limiting beliefs, and we release them and rewire them, That gives you, one, the beautiful mental energy and clarity, but it also gives you the confidence to move forward with all these extra tools. Once all the extra tools are in your wellness toolbox, it's only then that we talk food. Now, yes, there is a very specific way that I promote with my clients to eat, and essentially it's eating real food mindfully. So I share with them how to eat mindfully. We go through step by step, and it is a practice. It is so I cannot wave my magic wand at this point. I have been called a white witch. I have been called, what else have I been called? I've been called the miracle worker. And what was the other one? Something like the oracle or something like that by my clients. But the mindful eating component of the Weight Loss Accelerator Program is practice. It is a practice I continue to do every day. It's something that you learn, and I promise you, again, the more you learn it, the more it will fall into your subconscious mind, and the more it becomes just your habit. And then when you're eating the real foods mindfully, in a way that's going to promote weight loss, the weight loss happens from the very beginning. I remember one of my clients, Marisa, said to me after the emotional mindset work that we did and the launch pad, and I saw her 48 hours later, she said, Caroline, I actually feel like 10 kilos has come off my body. It hadn't, but the weight that she felt as a result of letting go of so much that she'd been hanging on to felt like to her that she'd dropped 10 kilos. And then she went on to drop 10 kilos. So it's that work that we do together in the Mindset Launchpad, which happens at the beginning of the program. And then I meet my clients weekly, fortnightly. We work out what it looks like moving forward. And I can honestly say, and I believe this is my point of difference from any of the other programs out there, I work with my clients to navigate their lives and what's going on in their lives so that they can manage everything. It might be 8 weeks into the program, and I had an example the other day where a client had an issue with one of the relationships with someone very close with her in a family, and it was obvious it was causing her stress and grief and all sorts of things. So we did more mindset work to empower her to reframe the way she looked at it, which allowed her to feel this freedom and brought her back in control around the relationship. That was 8, 9, 10 weeks into our program together. I work with my clients intimately so that they can navigate through their lives and handle everything that they need to handle in order for them to drop the weight. Because, you know, often clients will say to me, Caroline, is this the right time to be doing this? You know, it's busy. Oh my God, we're going to silly season. We've got spring carnival, we've got races, we've got Christmas, we've got Halloween, we've got Thanksgiving. It's so busy. But to do this in a bubble when nothing is going on in your life, and quite frankly, who has nothing going on in their lives, is not your reality. Your reality is busy. Your reality is socializing. Your reality is going out with friends. Your reality is going to a drinks party, whatever it might look like. And you want to have everything that you need to go through your life, because it's not just for the program's length of time, it's for all of your life. This is why when my clients reach their weight loss goals and they get to what we call the happy place, they learn to live in that happy place all the time. Because I don't want to stop working with you and you then go off and put on 10, 15, 20 kilos again. That is not my goal. My goal is that you get to your happy place and then you have all the skills and everything you need to stay there. And yes, you might put on a couple of kilos. Big deal. You just know exactly what to do to drop them. You might go away and have 3 weeks away doing something fabulous, and you might decide to have a glass of wine every night. That's okay. But when you come back and you're just in your everyday again, you go, okay, I get what I'm doing, and the way you know how to stay there. And that's the maintenance work that I do with my clients. Excuse me. So I could talk for hours about this. But it's this work that we do, and then it's then also over the period of the 3 months or the 6 month container that I'm working with my clients, we look at everything that we can do to give yourself a lifestyle upgrade. So if you're in a highly stressed job, that is obviously going to affect your waistline. If you're not sleeping properly, that is going to highly affect your weight loss journey. If you're stressed and not sleeping well, that's not good. If your hormones are out of whack, we need to bring them back into a state of calm rather than chaos. What else would there be? So many different, if you're not moving your body at all, eventually you don't have to, I have some clients that in the beginning choose not to do any movement other than just what they're normally doing in the day. And then slowly, as the weight comes off, they decide to introduce things. I've had other clients who love their exercise and are moving through. But as the weight drops, there are different requirements for your body to move. So we need to understand all of these things, and we need to understand all of these lifestyle elements for you that are working with you in synchronicity so that you can continue to drop your weight and achieve your goals. We do breath work, we do stress work, we do identity work. It is so much more than just what you put in your mouth and how you move your body. And this is the premium experience that I have with my clients, and I work with them, as I said, intimately. And often when we get to the end of our program, I'm like, please don't go, because we've had this amazing experience together and I love it. So again, this is just an overview, but I just wanted to share this with you because, as I said, this person reached out to me the other day and said, Caroline, exactly what you do. And this is what I do inside my program. This is my one-on-one premium program. As I said, it's a minimum program. It starts at 3 months. Usually it's a 6-month container. I have had a 10-month container before. And often we go into a maintenance type program afterwards. And then I will be releasing very shortly a group program where you still, because I know that my clients have the success because of the Mindset Launchpad and everything else that I do in the program. And so in this group program, everyone that joins will be getting the Mindset Launchpad on a one-on-one basis, but we will come together as a group for the accountability meetings and the sessions. And that is coming very soon. I'm working on it right now. So that's exciting. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can DM me, you can drop them in the comments. I will get back to you. And if you feel that this is something you would like to explore, and if you feel that you are ready to get off that diet roller coaster and stop treading water and staying in the same place, or stop losing and putting on the same 5, 10, 15 kilos all the time, I want you to know that long-term sustainable weight loss is available to you right now. And as I said earlier, you might think that the time is too busy, it's too chaotic, but think about your life over the last 12 months. Was it always busy, and was it still relatively chaotic? And look at the next 6 months or the next 12 months. It's highly likely that it's going to be the same, unless you're planning on moving to a beautiful deserted island with a palm tree and a hammock and a bellboy to bring you coconut juice. It's highly likely that you are going to have this busy life. So in order to take yourself off the back burner and put yourself front and center and look after you, with me by your side every step of the way, as I said, this is the deep emotional work that I do with my clients to ensure that they get the results that they want. And I know, because I've worked with hundreds of women, that they get far more than they ever expected. And that's what I love to see. I love to see the transformation, yes, of their bodies, but yes, of how they show up in their world and how they feel about themselves. Because quite frankly, people, isn't it time that we all felt good about it ourselves? We deserve to have that vitality and energy of both body and mind and feel good about ourselves all the time. We deserve that. We deserve joy in our life. So there we have it. That was my little brief conversation that I want to have to you to explain the Weight Loss Accelerator Program. And as I said, I can talk for a very long time, and I've already talked for a long time. So I hope you have a very happy evening, morning, afternoon, late night, wherever you are. And as I said, any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Bye for now.